Give me about 2 minutes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share this, and I'm going to be right back, and we're going to talk about a couple of things, all right? Give me 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second. You watch this on the playback. Just fast forward probably like a minute and a half if you watch this on the replay. All right, guys, I'll just start off from here. Hopefully some people get in here, whatever the case may be. So I haven't been live for about a day or two, whatever, on this channel. On my other channel, I have been live. I covered a little bit yesterday about what happened with Harvey Weinstein, what I've been telling you guys about before earlier. But right now, what I want to talk about is Karmelo Anthony. And I want to put emphasis on that because he's made bail. And I want to take it back, and I want to give a shout out to the Star Report or whatever, somebody that also worked in real media, like myself. He worked at Hot 97 and Power 105, both. So he brought it to my attention where there was a case in Texas, and all those places down there are pretty much rural, but this is a rural section of Texas, a very rural section of Texas. And in the bathroom back in 2019, I might be mistaken, about a year or two off, there was a young man, he was a white young man, and he stabbed to death a Latino, to be specific, Mexican young man at the time. And that case is still ongoing. And there was no outrage. There was no, oh, we got to get these people out of this country. And I saw this condescending enough. I saw this prior to this incident going on with the Venezuelan immigrants and everybody else they were deporting. We got to get them out of here, that whole rhetoric. And so it brought me to a situation where I had to think of something. And I said to myself, it's prior to what I said. And I went down to the MDC, and you guys know I did the live there. And when I did that there, it was funny because this was a month and a half ago. And I was saying to you guys, I said, isn't it funny that Luigi Mangione was able to raise $500,000 towards his defense fund? I said, don't you find that just a little bit odd that a man that we literally watched, and I was there the day, and you guys saw me down there. I was down there with CNN. I was down there with what's this guy's names? Jesus Christ, not News Corp. What are you guys over there? Associated Press. I want to be specific. Shout out to those guys over there. I was over there the day that Luigi Mangione did that. He did it around about 5 o'clock-ish, 5:30-ish in the morning. And it's not too far from where I'm standing at right now. And so I was there, and I was there when the police tape were up, when everything else. If you're a new subscriber or you're a new person viewing me, just go back, put in my name, put a Luigi Mangione behind it. It'll come up. It'll come up several videos of that. And at the time, I said, well, what the heck is the case? We saw this man shoot this father, this husband, because of his discrepancies at the time, about how the healthcare system works. I don't know his setbacks. I don't know anything like this. So I don't want to judge him on that aspect. But it still doesn't give you the Presentine motion to go about and say, you know what, I'm going to set a premise here. I'm going to make it paramount. I feel this way. And since I feel paramount about the way that I feel, I'm going to go and I'm going to commit said murder. And I was down at the MDC down there in Brooklyn, and I did a live down there. And I remember when I did that live a month and a half ago, I brought up this issue. I said, how is this man that blatantly we saw him shoot someone, to make someone come to their demise, and he was able to raise $500,000. And I'm not going to be funny about it. I can guarantee you the majority of that money was not from Latinos and African Americans. Is that fair? Is that fair? Is that fair? This was from a subset. Listen, I live in Connecticut. This was from a subset of, how can I say, conspiracy theorists, YouTube astronomers, and so on and so forth that brought this to conclusion. And these people said nothing about this murderer that we saw live internationally on video, played over and over and over on multiple different international platforms as far as media is concerned, whether it's online, whether it's terrestrial media, etc., etc. We saw Luigi Mangione make this man come to his demise in a coward way. He came up from behind him. The man didn't even have the time to defend himself. So I don't care how you feel And I understand some of y'all. I understand you got Nan that's 68. She having hard times. You got Paw by 81. He having hard times. I understand. And to some of those people that are part of the insurance industry, yeah, you know, it is a point. But this is what I want to home in. And if many people know, I stayed in this neighborhood before. I've got mail in this neighborhood before. And as many of y'all know me, I'm from the music industry. I've worked 17 years in the music industry through 3 different distributors, including Arista, Interscope, and Atlantic Records. So I'm very well known as far as the media spectrum is concerned. And one thing I'm always and I'm fair. I'm always fair. So, and that's why you guys like me, because I'm always fair. Now, to be fair, you have a subset, and I know this very well. And I'm not trying to be braggadocious or anything like that. Just listen to me. Predominantly, most of my life, I've lived in Shoreline, Connecticut. I live so close to New York that I'm always in New York. And I've worked in New York and everything else like that. But predominantly, most of my life, I've lived in Shoreline, Connecticut. Now, with that being said, we have certain people out in Shoreline, Connecticut that are a little bit opulent than most, okay? For example, about, I don't know, 20 minutes tops from where I'm at in Old Greenwich, we have Diana Ross lives there. Eartha Kitt, she passed away there. If y'all know her most famously from the movie Boomerang with Eddie Murphy. God, who else? Tommy Hilfiger's brother lives there. Oprah Winfrey owns a home there. One time, Gayle King owned a home there. We have numerous people who live in our area in Fairfield County in Connecticut. So I'm saying this respectfully, all right? And listen to what I'm saying here. We have a subset of people that live in Connecticut, depending on which side of Connecticut you live on, and I learned this in New York as well, that pretty much, for the better part of the world, are uncultured, uncivilized, and pure trash, okay? Now, this trash exists in every race and every spectrum you could think of. For the past 5 years, I've been coming up, give me 1 second, guys, I got the truck coming in. In the past 5 years that I've been coming here to Trump Tower in the same neighborhood that I used to stay at, shout out to Reverend Seamus and the many others, there's COVID, the same area right here, right? As I've been coming up here, I told you trash comes in so many different areas. Right here where I'm standing, I'm gonna turn this camera around. When Mayor de Blasio was in office, this right here used to be a Black Lives Matter sign. And I remember the first person that destroyed it. The first person that destroyed it was someone that was part of the LGBTQ crowd. I'm not trying to be funny. And then the second person that destroyed this was a black woman who subsequently went to Brooklyn and I believe Queens and did the same thing on this Black Lives Matter page. Now, why does that matter? That matters because of the pure simple fact of this. We have folks within the culture that helped Karmelo Anthony, and I appreciate every last one of you, I really do. We have a judge that helped him get his bond reduced. And that's what I really want to focus on right there, because that same judge has been threatened. She's a black female. She's been threatened. People have said they were going to kill her. People said they were going to make her meet her demise. People have said they're going to do sexual things. So this is a judge. All under the net of the fact of this kid who him and his brother have multiple photos of holding ARs and everything else at 17 years old, and we sit there and for some reason or another we ignore it. Well, we have these perpetrators that are online nowadays that outside the fact of witnesses that are in Texas, outside of police reports from Texas PD, outside of witnesses that are not only white, but Mexican and several other nationalities, they say the same goddamn thing. That these two motherfuckers went over there and they fucked with that kid. Now, as we keep moving forward and forward and forward, the reason I'm putting on this, because there's a certain subset of trash that's online that daily is making their notion to make sure that their premise is evident online, which is this is a racial incident. I will point back once again. There was a white kid who was 17 years old, and I believe it was in Belmont, Texas, this in 2019, who stabbed up and murdered a Mexican kid at the same place, and nobody barely talked about that in the white community. I bring up once again, we have Luigi Maggione, who we saw not even steps from where I'm standing right now, bring somebody to the demise. And we got it on camera. Not only did we get it on camera, God damn it, it went international. Everybody saw that footage. And this man, yet and still, was able to raise $500,000. So let me tell you what's going down, Trump, because I'm going to talk to you. Hold on one second. Now, I've had Lynn Patton, I've had many of others in the Republican Party like my tweets and know I'm a very fair man. Let me point out something to you. Trump, when you was in your first constituency, you put a whole bunch of these motherfuckers that wasn't nothing but pieces of shit in trouble rubberizers. Because the same way we got, I guess you say, the race baiters on black ends or Latin ends or whatever, we never pay attention to the race baiters or the white end. Who the whites I know in Connecticut look down on this poor white trash or who the fuck they are. You're uncultured, you're uncivilized, you're uneducated. And whether it been 200, 300, 400 years ago, you would have been part of the Gnostics, part of the Pilgrims, or whatever. They would have put you under the same definition of the crackers, the trash that you are. Now that's fair. Now my point is, this same trash has learned how to learn the game of what we call the articulation of bullshit when it comes here to online. And Trump, I want you to listen to what I'm talking about. These motherfuckers have gotten real clever as of lately. Real clever. Now they come in opinionated stances, and many of them, surprisingly enough, come from the woke crowd, from the Democratic Party. You would think that these people would come from the Republican Party, or they be Republican supporting people, or like everybody puts out the narrative, and that's what I try to tell you. No. These motherfuckers that I live in Connecticut. Connecticut is one of the most liberal states you could think of. We had Joseph Lieberman. We've got Jesus Christ. I'm having a brain fart. Y'all gonna get mad at me. Don't get mad at me, New London. Don't get mad at me, Stanford. I'm so sorry, but you guys know what I'm talking about. We have a very liberal state. So, and it's always been that way. We've always had liberal elected governors, liberal elected officials for the most part, and all parts of government in Connecticut. And the same thing for New York and the same thing for Jersey. This is the New York City tri-state. We go through all three of them. These people that are online, and the reason I pointed out Trump is because specifically they're on X. Oh, X is the motherfucking, that's the, if you want to be a radical headquarters. And the reason they ran there, Trump, and listen to me very carefully because you got to understand, you and Elon, y'all got to get in more on cybersecurity moving forward. Yeah, a lot of these wacko motherfuckers that claim they believe in Trump for the wrong reasons. Trump is from New York. All right, that's first of all. Trump's from New York. He's a hometown boy, he's a tri-state boy. I've said it all the time, I'll say it again. This is town business here. So when I hear these people online, and some of them try to align themselves with Trump, but others you can obviously see that they're liberals and they're trying to paint a narrative, and that narrative is, let's get something going. So then that way we can justify what we're doing. And I saw the same thing, and I talked about it before, when it was being implemented with the people that were here and they were deported. I saw the same rhetoric. Oh, get rid of them. Get them out of here. Send them back to the country. Now, I've covered everything from the Row Hotel. I've covered, what was the other one? I forgot what the other one was over by Grand Central, but I've covered that one. I've covered all three of them. I've covered even the goddamn island out there that they had, all right, in person. And with that being said, I was on top of this a long time ago, and I talked about the gangs 3 years ago. And right here, in front of Trump Tower, ironically enough. And so when I talked about that, I talked about it not in a presumptuous tone, or not in a pointing my finger tone, or not in the tone of trying to paint a narrative. I pointed it in the fact I saw cops getting beat up. I saw a motherfucker after that across the street that was 15 years old shoot up and shoot out at cops. I saw some people down at the tent cities that they had there to get beat. I said, well, y'all need to get rid of them motherfuckers. Plain and simple as that. If this is your first time with me, I curse sometimes, I smoke on camera, but somehow or another, it has got me over almost 14 million views, so somebody likes it. I don't do gossip, I don't do chatter, I straight shoot, and that's who I am. You can catch me from covering everything from the Jonathan Majors trial. I covered both of Trump's arraignments for Stormy Daniels, and the other one I was down there the day that man set himself on fire, and Trump's arraignment down there in Center. So trust me, I'm somebody you can trust as far as things like that and being fair. This trash that you have online, that's specifically on X right now, is a problem. They are trying to create a narrative that Austin Metcalf was some innocent kid or whatever. This kid is 17 motherfucking years old, and him and his twin brother have pictures with ARs. Now, so does, what's the name? So does this kid. But where was he with Austin and them? Because it looks like the same goddamn gun to me. Isn't that ironic? We got a lot of deep digging down here, whatever. A lot of people are upset that this kid made bail. And I understand, I get it and everything like that. But Trump, I would emphasize, get Elon to look in on X a little bit more, and you'll see these are the guys. I caught probably 10 to 15 guys that are daily, and I report their motherfucking ass too. Fuck them. I've caught dudes that are online, and then what I find is all of them have one thing linear in notion, right? Check this out. All of them have one thing linear. Give me a second, guys. I got this loud bus. And Trump and Elon, I want you both to hear this. All of them have one thing linear in motion. All of them never have a goddamn picture of themselves. They have pictures of everything else but themselves. And that's why I think we need to take some new presidents. Now, this is my idea here. Don't nobody try to fucking steal it, except for Elon or Trump. Now, listen to me very carefully. One of the biggest problems right now on YouTube, where I'm streaming to you guys at right now, and on the other two apps that I stream on, is this. We have people that can hide in anonymity, and in this anonymity, they can not only hide, but they can sit behind an avatar for it, and you guys have seen it when they come in and troll me. I go and I look at their channel as I'm live, and I tell you, okay, this guy's been here for 13 years, and he has 15 subscribers. This guy's been here for 18 years. I'm like, how the fuck have you been on YouTube for 18 years and you ain't found out you can make some money off this bitch? You lazy motherfucker. You understand what I'm saying? I don't, like, if you have something to say in my chat to me, and you've been on here for 13, 10, 7 years, and you haven't realized that you can monetize your account or haven't given any effort, I don't care anything about what you want to say. You are non-ambitious and you are not a threat to me. But my point is, you get these people that can hide in anonymity online. And not only can they hide in anonymity, and I'm pretty sure Trump is familiar with this. This is why they started up Truth Social. These people can not only hide in anonymity, but what we need to start doing is, and I'm going to tell you what I mean by this. This is where we can take a token out of Mark Zuckerberg for a moment. One thing I will say about Facebook, when you're streaming on there, if somebody comes into your chat room or somebody comes into your stream, you automatically can see who they are. And you've been able to see who these individuals are, not for 1 year, not for 2 years, not for 3 years, but for over fucking 15 fucking years. Stay there. 15 years on Facebook, I can see who comes into my chat. I can tell you automatically and not if I want to keep this person here or I want to eradicate them and get them out the way. Now stay there. On YouTube, YouTube has been here for 18 years, and unless a motherfucker comments, you don't know who they are, and they can troll you, they can flag you, they can say heinous things about you, they can take clips of your thing and recreate what you said and you haven't said it, things of that nature. I want that to seep in with you guys for a minute. Because we don't have just 1 or 2 people doing this. We have teams of people doing this. There are people that will come into your live, share your live with their specific group, and their specific group simultaneously will flag you for whatever message you say that doesn't fit their narrative. This is why I say to you, and I say to Elon Musk, I'll say to Trump, both. You need to do a deep dive. Hold on 1 second. I want you guys to hear this clearly. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, guys. I want you to do a deep dive, not only on X, which is your outlet, but I also want you to do a deep dive specifically on YouTube. And this is what I want out of YouTube, to amend some of the things that they currently have. Now listen to me very carefully. The one thing that I think they need to amend is this. They need to change up the strategy, and I think it could do it 1 or 2, 3 ways. 1, you need to show an ID. There's a lot of mentally ill motherfuckers that are online. I hate to say it like that, but that's just what it is. There are some mentally ill people online, and you know why they are mentally ill? And they can act out all the whims and say all the things that they normally wouldn't say any other day of the week because of the pure simple fact of that anonymity. They can hide. My name is Joe Blow, and I don't have a picture in my avatar, and I've been here for 13 fucking years, and I've been causing havoc. I am a veteran troll. And they will stand on that shit. That is their notoriety. I'm a veteran troll. I'm a veteran predator, whatever the case may be, all right? Because there's a couple of them on here too. You understand? Make no mistake about it. I tell people that all the time. A Bad Baby, the rapper, turned 18 years old. She made over $1 million, I believe it was, within 24 hours. Half of them motherfuckers were over the age of 34 years old. What does that tell you? They've been watching Bad Baby since she was 15, 16, 17 years old. And these motherfuckers can hide online. Why? Because they have a fake profile. They don't have a picture in their profile. If you try to look up their profile, you can't find anything. This is the problem with YouTube right now. And this is why I said the same thing. And I say this very clearly because it was the senators in my state, Senator Blumenthal, and at the time, God bless his heart, Senator, Jesus Christ, Joe Lieberman. He passed away not too long ago. They were the ones that brought Mark Zuckerberg in front of Congress. If many people don't know that. Our state senators in Connecticut. They bought Mark Zuckerberg the first time. And I forgot who the guy is. It's one of the CEOs up there. He's an Indian gentleman. He was talking about the dangers of Facebook at the time and how social media evolved around. Well, it's matriculated it's at its extremes now. I've had people come in here talking about they're going to do this, they're going to do that to me. I've had people come in here and talk about my family. I've had people come in here and follow me for weeks under anonymity and flag my page, try to make sure I don't get enough likes or whatever, because I have an option that they don't. And as long as you have a group of people that are like this and allow to act and form and do what they want to and form plans and do matriculate as far as slick shit or whatever, you're gonna have people on here that's gonna be the next mass shooter. You're gonna have people on here that's gonna be the next mass terrorist. You're gonna have people on here that's gonna be the next master of manipulation when it comes to information. And one of those information right now is Karmelo Anthony. There's a lot of misinformation out of there. And more importantly enough, even if we want to skip past that and how you feel about him, let's talk about the black female judge that has had multiple. She was being threatened so much that she had to put her fucking Twitter on private. This is a judge. This is the judge. And most of this was done not by upstanding white folks. I live in Connecticut. I know the difference. This was poor motherfucking white trash. Uneducated, unaccomplished, blue collar, know nothing, poor white trash. Now, some people that are new to this country, a generation back, 2 generations, you're not going to understand what I'm talking about. But for white folks that are born and bred in this country, for black Americans that have been in this country for more than 8, 9, 10 generations, you know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. This is poor white people define them as poor white trash. White people define them as poor white trash. I'm standing on 5th fucking Avenue and I used to live up here. My address was up here. And I'm gonna try to tell you, if you get some hick from Mississippi, Memphis, fucking Tennessee, South Bend, LA, South Bend, fucking Florida, you bring them up here, white folks are gonna quickly understand the difference between them. With no questions asked. And they're gonna be very, if not, they won't be vocal, but they will be very adamant in their facial expressions about this trash. Give me 1 second. So it's not the point that I'm upset, I'm disturbed by not only the fact that this poor white trash is able to operate online by anonymity, by fake profiles, which I've taken screenshots of many of this shit. I put it together in a compilation so y'all can see for yourself, so you know I wasn't exaggerating. There are people, even with the fucking facts in front of them, from the police, from the fucking investigators, from the judge, the extraction of the judge's actions, they're still being like, oh, no, Aston Metcalf was innocent. He might have been innocent, but the fact that you're sitting up there and you're directing the narrative by race is some clown ass shit. You understand? Now let me put something in perspective for you. I can go out any day of the fucking week. Any day of the fucking week. I worked for record companies for over 17 fucking years. I've been at every fucking location and stayed in every nice whole fucking hotel you could think of. We were some of the first motherfuckers that were in the new W. You understand what I'm saying? Shout out to the Clevelander in Miami. Which I've seen pictures, video of the Bentleys. What's around that shit 2005? What are you talking about? Porsche, 2010. So make no mistake about it. You're talking to somebody that's from the music industry. I've been around multi-millionaires since I was 21 years old all the way up until I was 38. So when I say this respectfully, but at the same fucking time, fuck any poor white trash, racist motherfucker that's online. You not only do a disservice to your culture, but you do a disservice to fucking society, you uncultured, unworthy motherfucker. Let me put something on to y'all. Go right now to Google search, and I want you to put in highest welfare recipients in the United States. And I guarantee you that that's just gonna come up as 61.2% white American. Most of them are concentrated in a place called Osla, Kentucky. Go look right now. I'll wait. Go look right now. And you know why it's 61% of those motherfuckers? Because of the pure simple fact they're the highest population in America. This is numbers. This is not exaggeration. This is numbers that you can look up from the CDC. These are numbers that you can look up from the DOJ. These are numbers that you can look up from the FBI. These are numbers that are available to you with demographics that are readily available. So I have a problem when we have this reverse psychology, psych-op, quasi-Hitler type shit going on. Because that's what it is. See, let me tell you something. The Vietnamese did the same thing, and Hitler and the Germans did the same thing. Now listen to me very carefully. You'll see an example of this in a movie by Spike Lee called Miracle of Santa Ana. And in the movie, they had a woman, and she was on a megaphone, right? And on this megaphone, she was sitting there with all the troops. This was during World War II. She would sit there, she was part of the German opposition or whatever, the National Socialists, however you want to call them. She was part of the SS, and what she would do is she would tell the men, Negro, this is not your fight. Why are you here? It's a psychological type, reverse psychology type of shit. That's why I tell a lot of y'all, and sometimes when I'm talking about little quasi-blue pill shit, watch out for any woman that majored in psychology. Because she really majored in was reverse psychology. But anyway, long story short, this psychology is used now online. So what you have, Trump, is when you have a lot of these people that are online, and I want this to be expressed, and not only Trump, but Elon as well, because you run X. Most of these, and I think most of the people in my chat will agree, most of the bulk of these narratives that are being painted by this poor white trash, and that's what I'm gonna call them, because this is not upstanding white folks. I live in Fairfield, fucking Connecticut. I know the difference. I got friends that are Greek and Italian. 37% of my fucking state is Italian. My friends' names are Bacco and Papadadasino and shit like that. Y'all done seen them on camera with me. So, my point is, when you get this trash that gets online, and they definitely have a narrative to try to paint and create some type of, if I could say, race war, because that's what you're seeing. You're seeing a reverse psychology being used to paint false narratives to people, and they're using Aston Metcalf, and they're using both Anthony as both an example, Karmelo, excuse me. They're using both of them as a I don't know, like a stepping bridge, you know what I mean, to commensate this shit. So, as somebody that's been online for, goddamn, almost 5 years now, I'm getting old at this, y'all. As somebody formerly in the music industry, I'm trying to tell you, I know when I see a play. And so when I see multiple accounts, and I think some of these accounts are maybe multiple accounts ran by the same person, because some of them look similar as far as like the language, like it's almost like a copy and paste type thing. That's another thing to watch out for too. A lot of these guys that are online, they have multiple accounts, and not only do they have multiple accounts, but all the multiple accounts are under different emails. So that's where it'll get tricky. You'll get a different email, and you'll think, and they do this by this. There's like 2 or 3 apps, and y'all know what I'm talking about, the phony email address or the secondary email address. When you get on Google, they make you and they almost mandate you to sign up with a Google email account so you can get the rest of your accounts, specifically YouTube. So you'll have to sign up for a Gmail account. Well, there's like 3 or 4 apps you can bypass that shit now. They'll give you a clone email. So it'll look like a Gmail account to Google, but it's not actually a Gmail account. You know what I'm saying? And this is where you get your far-right extremists. This is where you get your far-black extremists. This is where you get your Latino extremists. This is where you get your anti-Yarmulke people. I won't say that too much, but you know what I mean. And this is where you get those people. I mean, a lot of people now point out the fact, I think it was Governor Shapiro down there in Pennsylvania. He just had his whole goddamn house burnt up by some wacko who was online. So, listen, y'all know my mantra. I always been the same thing. I say it down when I'm at the courthouse, when I was covering the Jonathan Majors trial, whether it be the Trump trial, whether it be all 4 puffs arraignments so far, whether it be this new shit with Harvey Weinstein. I always say the same shit. Sometimes it's good goddamn police work. So to any folks that's out there that's listening, and I know a lot of y'all listen to what I'm trying to tell you. The war, hold on one second. I got the siren going by, guys. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. The war nowadays is by these many domestic terrorists, all right, and unaccomplished men. Those are the 2 demographics. So listen to me very carefully. You got your many Gen Z, quasi-woke, quasi-feminist, quasi-lesbian, quasi-whatever, and all these matriculations or whatever they are. You understand? Because none of them can stand adamant or whoever the fuck they are. That's the funniest thing about it. Well, I'm a purple and I identify as a fucking cow. Whatever, I don't know. But listen, my point is this. I'm trying to tell you, these little fucking mini domestic terrorist people, they navigate tens of thousands of motherfuckers. I got 30,000 people to follow. I don't know half of y'all motherfuckers. My point is, you get these people and some of them will like literally launch pad off of the other one's speech. So now they'll go start their own page for free. Follow what I'm saying? That's why I said it needs to be some precedence change with social media apps. And I think the lead way to it is if you make these motherfuckers pay $15 or $20 to keep their account, if you make them show an ID, if you make them, that way you get out of the anonymity shit. See, that's the problem. You get people that can sign up with clone emails, like I just explained to you, that are available on Google Play Store. It ain't hard to find. Or you can find clone emails on Google itself and just put in the Google search. All of it leads back to Google. You following me? Here's a whole fucking envelope. So my point is, if you can eliminate the fact of not making people sign up without an ID, not making people, some people suggested making people take a psychological test, and I think that makes sense because a lot of these people are obviously mentally ill. Anytime you devote yourself, and I gave out they actually have a terminology for it, and I forgot what it is, the psychological handbook, MD something. It's about people that have an obsession for stars. And I pointed that out with the T bloggers, you know, day to day. No, because some of these people do that. You have people that'll sit here. I know people that sat here for 2 years talking about Diddy. There's been bloggers that have been on here for a year and a half talking about Jay-Z. And you know what? And they got tunnels under the car, and they got tunnels under the house, and that's where they brought in the Honduran refugees, all kinds of crazy shit. And you're listening to this person, you're like, yeah, I believe you. And it's like a cult of these silly motherfuckers, but some of them are extremists, and that's what people be missing. Some of them will go the extra yard. I believe in so-and-so blogger. They really believe that because half of these motherfuckers ain't ever had nobody pay attention to in half of their life. Most of these people online are uneducated. Half of the bloggers, they never graduated high school, and they've got tens of thousands of people that follow them and will listen to every whim of what they say, even to the point where you can look at the shooting that happened up there in Buffalo, New York, where the dude went in there and shot all those people in the grocery store there. You can look at Pennsylvania, where you got this motherfucker that burned down the governor's mansion. Y'all mad at Kanye. What about this anti-Semitic motherfucker who had the audacity to go turn himself in after he had burned down the house? He went and turned himself in. So my point is, you got these extremists out here, and a lot of people that are not involved in the online world don't know how extreme these motherfuckers are. These are different than the ordinary Joe that's sleeping on the street, or the fucker that occasionally wants to push somebody. No, these are people that are very different. These are people that have militias. These are people that obviously, the motherfucker that did the assassination attempt on Trump the second time, where was he at? Online. You follow what I'm saying here? These punk motherfuckers are able to hide online because they have the anonymity of having that free account. So let's eliminate the free account and make these motherfuckers show an ID and pay $20. I guarantee you, and you guys know what I'm talking about, I worked in the music industry. You make these son of a bitches pay $20 a month to keep their account and have to show an ID, all that bullshit that happens online, it'll clean itself up in a year. It'll clean itself up in a year, because at that point, they're going to be scared to get online because they know they're being monitored. See, once you feel like you're unmonitored, that's why people are able to say what they say, do what they do, or whatever. It's disgusting what I've seen projected about Karmelo Anthony and the situation that happened with Austin Matt Clef, or whatever his name is there. I don't want to mispronounce the name or disrespect his family. But at the same time, there's some truth in it. And there's some things that not only the police are brought to recognition, but the witnesses that were there, multiple different races, have brought to recognition that this kid was a bully. This kid ran over and did what he did. Now, I live a judge to articulate that, adjudicate that, of course, naturally. But what I want to tell you is, Trump, what I want to tell you is, Elon, pay attention to what I'm saying. Now, I've been coming up this motherfucker right here, Trump Tower. This is town business. I've been coming up here for 5 years. I came up here with Biden. Y'all know when Biden got elected, I was like, don't vote for this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? But I was right here. I was right here when I pointed over here. I'm going to show you again. When this wacko chick came up here and a wacko dude came up here and threw paint on this Black Lives Matter sign. It's still on my channel. And then at that time, I told them about, hey, start watching out for these wacko motherfuckers, because at that time, those two motherfuckers were online. If you look at the point of what I'm going at, the contention of what I'm going at, it's paramount that you pay attention to it. Trump. Two motherfuckers tried to take you out. Punk bitches, cowards, hiding on rooftops, shit like that. Same thing that happened with Luigi Mangione. That man didn't even have a chance. You came right behind Brian and popped him and didn't even give him a chance to motherfucking defend himself. And y'all know I was there on site that morning filming. And shout out to Brian and Matt and all the other guys from major media that know I'll always be on the scene and always be moving and shaking. I didn't like that shit then. I don't like that shit now. And I don't like the fact this when I went down to MDC and did my thing down there for the Puff thing, I said, why was this son of a bitch able to raise $500,000, but you got the goddamn nerve to raise hell about Anthony motherfucking, this kid Anthony being able to raise the same amount? What's the problem? How come you didn't have an issue with Luigi? I had people, if y'all remember that live, right? If y'all remember that live, I had people in my live at that time telling me, oh my God, you can't say that, and cussing me out. I had a couple people call me the N-word. Come on, you got to call me better than the N-word, baby. I've been around multi-millionaires since I was 21 motherfucking years old. I'm an old ass man now. Well, headed to it. I ain't no old man. You were there. So I worked in the music industry for 17 years, so unless you could compete with me as far as like that, I mean, it doesn't really matter. So, but at the time, everybody was mad at me because I pointed out and I said Luigi Mangione was able to raise $500,000 through donators, and I hate to say it like this, but I guarantee most of those donators were African American or Latinos. Is that fair to say? And I guarantee you most of those donators were extremists. Because anybody that can donate money to a man that we watched on camera murder somebody. Well, I was down there in person, not steps from here. Not even steps from here. And saw the yellow tape, was down there with major media and everything else reporting on the damn thing. Had major media with me on camera. Got to see me with everybody from Lisa Evers to goddamn everybody. I'm like, what more I got to do? My point is, there's a problem on social media. And it needs to be taken care of quickly. Because what you're doing is you're giving a breeding ground for some real sicko fucking extremists. And these extremists, some of them, believe that Trump believes the same way as one of the good old boys down there in Mississippi. Some of this demographic believes that Trump believes the same way as some of the gun toters and fucking Klan riders down there in Arkansas. You understand what I'm saying? And I know that man don't think like that. I know he don't think like that. He got too many pictures with Mike Tyson. He got too many pictures with African Americans in the past. For that, Trump is a Queens boy. You understand? I understand favorites and demographics. I had to do that in the music industry, so I understand. But my point is, these extremists that you have out here that are witnessing and ushering death to judges off a bail, that's not to be acceptable. That's not to be acceptable. Anybody like that should be taken down. Anybody like that issues anything like that via Twitter, via YouTube, and that's where we have these people, that motherfucker should be picked up. I know a lot of cops and everything like that. Y'all want to fuck with these kids that's sitting on the corner selling some crack? No, y'all need to get with these motherfuckers that are online. Because see, that kid that's sitting on the corner selling crack or whatever, 9 times out of 10, you're going to give it a good 4-5 years before you're going to have to really, really run down on them. But these motherfuckers that are online, they got AR-15s. Some of them were, there was a kid in the Bronx that was trying to purchase grenades. You got these people that are online that are so much extremists and so much believe in their woke fashions or whatever the fuck. They'll do anything. And even that is creating a narrative with this, what is the Karmelo Anthony thing, whether it's creating a narrative with the Ashton Metcalf name. And I think a lot of people, especially as parents, should be worried about that. Why are you creating a narrative with my dead son's name? Nobody has a problem with that. This is a 17, whatever happened, the kid's 17. You got motherfuckers out here that are 45, 50, 55 years old talking about kids. And don't point out the measure that in 2019, and the case is still ongoing, there was a white gentleman that stabbed up the Mexican young man in the high school bathroom. Same thing, they were 17 years old, and everybody kept it on the quiet. I didn't hear that partition of those segregationists, if you want to say, having anything to say. They didn't have anything to say. We brought it up again about Belmont, Texas. Shout out to Star, the Star Report. He brought it up today, gave the commentary on it and everything else. Make sure you go to the Star Report, check that out. It was his last one that's entitled whatever. Shout out to Jersey. These people that are navigating this story on X specifically, and that's why I came back up here, because I mean, outside the fact I've been coming up here for 5 years, I've been up here, y'all done seen me when there was 40, 50 fucking police up here. I'm no fucking criminal. My point I'm getting at is, what's right is right. And these individuals that you got online right now, they're trying to paint this narrative and trying to make it some racial fucking uprising or whatever. We need to put these motherfuckers under the microscope, because the problem is they're able to lean into the ears of a couple other people online and make them believe this shit. You understand what I'm saying? Without adjudication. I've covered trials in person. I sat in front of Megan Good and Jonathan Major's first day in court. I sat in fucking Trump's trial. I've been there, you know what I'm saying? And it's all on this camera. I mean, well, not inside the courtroom, of course. I can't film inside any of the courts. But my point is, I've been there in the media area. You guys have seen Jonathan Majors. You guys have seen Trump on my camera and everything else. I saw them do the same thing to Trump online when he was going through his shit. Oh, it must have been. Da, 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 da. This was a motherfucking hooker. The bitch was a hooker. Stormy Daniels was a hooker. Is that fair? Is that fair? She was a hooker that needed her nickel. For no fucking state trial. Fuck that bitch. She was a hooker. And the reason I say it like that, because we made a couple of hookers in the past 20 years fucking superstars. Not because they had talent, because of their association with people that actually had talent. Trump, the motherfucker with the talent. You could go back to 1974, there's a picture of Trump with his daddy sitting up on one of their motherfucking, what's the name, real estate investments. You know what I'm saying? Develop it. You dig? Build it from ground up. Stormy Daniels ain't got no pictures like that. We've gotten to a point in society where we're holding up high, and I hate to say it for the bad lack of words, retards, people that are slow, people we feel are victims, immigrants from whatever country because they got a fucking story about some bullshit that they were bullshit people in their own country. That's why the niggas over there didn't want them over there. There's a lot of these people that from these foreign countries running. And I mean running. About 6 or 7 motherfuckers want to kill him. Y'all give me 1 second. Let me read some of these comments. Vince McMahon, you're right, Brent. Vince McMahon, I will buy a fuel pump from a Gulf. I hear that. Who else is up in here? What's going on, Deborah? Yeah, it's a little breezy out here. What's going on, AA La Vida? How you doing tonight, Fred? U.S. Marines. That's what I like to see up in here. My family is military, multiple branches, so like if you guys know my channel, I'm always shouting out military. I'm not necessarily anti-cop and all that shit either. I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm around cops a lot. If y'all ain't noticed, I'm at all these fucking different trials and shit or whatever, and arraignments with Puff or Trump or fucking Jonathan Majors and multiple. We're on this Weinstein thing right now, but I'm someone that's around major media. I'm always around major media. I've always, from Associated Press to fucking Fox, everybody else you wouldn't think I would be associated with, I am. As far as like friendships and courtships, as far as I see them and I'm around them and work. I won't say we're going out to dinner having drinks. Point is, I'm a very fair man when it comes to not only politics, when it comes to the music industry or happenings that's going on. And what I see is a lot of these people that are talking and bringing up these points or whatever, not only from the Texas area where this incident happened, but they're also hiding an anonymity online, and they're projecting a narrative that I find sickening. You know what I'm saying? So since I know that Trump and Elon Musk is the only 2 motherfuckers that can do something about it, I'm gonna come up here to champs. You understand what I'm saying? Up here with the winners. You understand what I'm saying? Up here with the ballers, the real ballers. And, you know what I'm saying? State it for what it is. We got to get some of these people offline. They're dangerous. I got people up here, you know, I want to listen, while I got the ear, fuck it. So cops, listen very carefully, right? Y'all know I talk that real shit. And I done had cops like what the fuck I said. I got cops that fucking follow my page, shit. Listen to what I'm telling you. You got this new thing that's going on right now where a lot of these vloggers, they find other vloggers that they don't like. And what they do is they find information of where this vlogger may live at, where this vlogger's family may live at, where this vlogger's sister, cousin may live at, or whatever. And what they do is they'll put out the information or whatever online for hoops and heaps of people to see. Now, there has to be some legality behind this or whatever, because they're utilizing the web to actually do this. Now, I don't know if it falls under cyberbullying, cyber terrorism, or whatever, but I know you'll find Deuce aptly to do so. I have been a victim of such or whatever. I had a young woman the other day, well, not a young woman, but a rather older woman, said, I'm going to send you over some information. Send me your email. I said, well, what information do you have about me? But you have to pay a total the notion. I'm going to send you some information. We have women that are online and talking about they having trials for people. Who the fuck are you to have a trial for anybody? Who are you? You know? the arrogance that goes along with this thing online nowadays is very dangerous, and it's creating a lot of domestic terrorists, if you want to say, a lot of narcissists, a lot of obsessive people, a lot of people that are megalomaniacs in their own fucking mind. You know what I'm saying? Of the internet. I control everything. It's me, bridge. And I can't cross this. It's me, bridge. You know what I mean? There's a lot of crazy motherfuckers out here. They come in my chat room all the time. Y'all know this. So, like I said, listen to me. If you guys become the victim of somebody harassing you, report them bitches. If you become the problem of somebody harassing your kids or somebody harassing or putting out your things or your address or whatever, report them motherfuckers to the cops. Sometimes it's just good goddamn police work. I got to put that shit on a goddamn t-shirt, I swear to God. Sometimes it's just good goddamn police work. You shouldn't be able to give out somebody's address and utilize the police as a shield or your own personal security force, and note on the fact of using them as your own security force based on the fact of somebody's gender being a man or somebody's gender and color being a man of color and a man. And this is what a lot of these people are doing, both male and female, here online nowadays. This is why I point out and I bring up the fact we need to get rid of some prospect of having these people in anonymity online, able to navigate stories such as fact of this series with Karmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf. There's people literally online trying to start a race war. And they're trying to lead up people and gather up people to start it. And who the fuck you think gonna clean it up when it's gonna start? The police! What's wrong with you? Y'all slow or some shit? Who gonna clean it up? Who gonna stop it? You see what I'm saying here? So I ain't a fan of that shit right there at all. And I had to speak about it, I'm gonna talk about it or whatever, and that's all I had to say. Trump, make sure you put some emphasis on Elon. If you hear this, I tagged Trump Tower in this motherfucker, so y'all know me. Lynn Patton liked my motherfucking Instagram post before, so shout out to Lynn Patton. A lot of people don't give Lynn Patton credit. Lynn Patton was one of the innovators that actually went head first into the housing projects around New York City and stayed in them to put up emphasis of the lack of and the deterioration of these apartments and put emphasis on it. So I want to give a shout out to her. I always respect Lynn Patton. Always respect, God, there was another woman too. I forgot what her name is, but she did the same thing locally on Pix 11. She goes, Latina woman, she goes to apartments and things like that where they got, you know, molded floors and things like that or whatever. And being somebody that lived up here, being somebody that lived most of my life in Connecticut on the shoreline, when I stayed down here in New York, I know that aspect of life too. I have friends that live in that aspect of life or whatever. And oh man, it's so much to talk about. Those are good women or whatever. So I want to make sure that both of those women, they hear what I have to say too, and they understand what I have to say. There's a problem online right now, and it's being facilitated with a lot of motherfuckers that hide in anonymity. So once again, I'll give my suggestion. I think that some of these son of a bitches, if not all of them, need to start showing the goddamn ID. We got your ID now. Now we know who the fuck you are. So when you want to get online and talk about, hey, I'm going to shoot up the local UPS trucks, or hey, I'm going to shoot up the local school, and you tell thousands of followers you're going to shoot up because my mama ain't give me a hug when I was 12 years old. Well, bitch, we got your ID. We got your ID, ho. Because that's what you are. You're a whole motherfucker. Just like that whole ass motherfucking Luigi Mangione. That's a bitch. And anybody that gave that bitch some money and talking shit about Karmelo Anthony or whatever this situation is, but they ain't talking about the situation that happened in 2019 in Belmont, Texas. It was the exact same thing. It said it included a white man killing a Mexican kid. Once again, shout out to the Star Report, formerly a Hot 97, Power 105, part of the music industry such as myself, that pointed that out on an hour and 45-minute live today. Y'all make sure y'all go check it out. I'll make sure I actually share it too in my community section so y'all can check out the live and understand for yourself. This is reality. So this fake outrage that we have, I'm not buying it. And this whole fucking, listen, brothers, listen to me very carefully. This is for the brothers. And por la gente latino, tú sabes, los negritos, tú sabes, los negros. Brothers, listen to me very carefully. Y'all motherfuckers be out here giving thousands of dollars to OnlyFans hoes. You understand what I'm saying? Respectfully. To all the OnlyFans hoes that's charging $6.99 a month, $4.99 a month. Get your swerve on, bitch. That's not my point. My point is, and I offended a couple people when I said bitch, that's what they are. They're sluts. Any chick that turn 18, 19, 20 years old and have a fucking father in her life, and she say, you know what, my number one ambition is to get on fucking OnlyFans. Fuck them hoes. That's what they are, future hoes. Why we gotta lie about it? That's a hoe. Any chick that take off her clothes for $4.99 a month per subscriber is a hoe. I understand what I'm saying? What did Chris Rock say? My only job is to keep my daughter off the pole. Well, my only job is to keep my daughter the fuck off OnlyFans. Is that fair? All right. So anyway, long story short, you got a litany of people online. I can summarize it like this. You got a litany of people online that are liars, troublemakers, people that are violent, dangerous, people that threaten me, threaten other people that I know. You understand what I'm saying? Other bloggers, pile on, get other bloggers with their subscribers, pile on other bloggers or whatever. This shit must stop. And I'm hoping the Trump administration and I'm hoping Elon Musk will take a deep dive into this, especially online, specifically on X, and make it come to a close. Because it's not just the Karmelo Anthony situation. There's motherfuckers on there every day. There's one guy I found that every time he throws up something for black people, he throws up a monkey emoji behind it. And this is why I say to black men, instead of chasing behind whores like y'all been doing, start getting online and taking up for some of these women that are judges, some of these women that, you remember when I came up here and I was taking up for the MTA worker lady that got assaulted by that punk motherfucker that was sleeping under the bench? You bitch ass motherfucker. Shout out to them 2 Puerto Rican brothers and them 2 black brothers that whooped his motherfucking ass until the police got there. And shout out to them motherfucking cops that said, don't worry about it, boys. No charges pending. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's just good goddamn police work. You understand? Don't worry about it, boys. There's no charges pending. The fuck? Bitch ass motherfucker mad because he sleep under a bench. First of all, you got to be a low down dirty motherfucker to sleep under a bench and the subway platform. You know what the fuck under there? At least sleep on top of the motherfucking bench. Shit. Nasty motherfucker. They got the nerve after the cleaning lady comes at 4 o'clock in the morning talking about, bitch, I ain't moving nowhere. Got lumped the fuck up after that, after he tried to beat her on. The point is, y'all niggas got to start getting up in arms. You understand what I'm saying? There's a lot of elements out here. There's a lot of people out here that don't like people that look like you and me. And they're putting heavy emphasis on it because they believe that Trump is in court right now and he pods on the side that they do. Trump don't roll with that shit. Trump was the one that put all these motherfuckers for the first place on that list in his first constituency. So Trump, that's the only thing I'll tell you. Just pay attention to that right there. If many of y'all don't know me, my name is Davin Lewis, Davinlewis, formerly of the music industry, numerous videos, all that shit, formerly at MTV for 2 seasons with direct effect. So I know a thing or two about media. I've been around it for a very long time, and I have a lot of friends that are superstars and artists and all that shit or whatever, but I don't like talking about that shit. My prime emphasis, and a lot of people, they like that, and some people, they don't like it, but it's about issues that are going on socially. And if I got the advantage of being here where I live at, in my area, in my towns, New York City, tri-state, to put emphasis into that, I'm gonna do so, goddammit. I'm gonna do it every fucking time. Trump is from here. He ain't from Alabama. He ain't from Mississippi. He ain't from the south side of fucking Florida, even though he got Mar-a-Lago down there. I get it. You understand what I'm saying? But that was an acquired residence. Let's not forget that. It was acquired residence. That was acquisitioned. So my point is, stop these motherfuckers from down south that getting online lately and trying to start all kind of racial tension and shit like that, because what you'll find is within the same ranks of these bitch motherfuckers hold and sit the same people that made an attempt on Trump's life. Did you know that? I'll say it for you again. The same people that I'm speaking of right now that fall into these little racial angles, what you'll find about them is not only do they fall into these racial angles, but traditionally these people have always thought like this all the way back to the invention of the Night Riders, which later became the Ku Klux Klan. They not only take a position of separatism, but they take it as a position almost every time politically. This is why Texas tried to succeed from the United States now almost 3-4 fucking times. Oh, if the West would have, if the motherfucker, if the South would have won, fuck them. I hear that, man. That's what's up. So guys, I'm glad I hope y'all enjoyed my, what's the name? Y'all enjoyed my talents, what's the name? Oh God. That's what's up. Thank you, baby. I appreciate that. Some guy said, Matt said, if I'm homeless, I'm going, okay, Matt, that's what's up. Oh, okay, I know that guy actually. All right, I'll unhide him. I thought you guys said he was saying something. He wasn't saying nothing bad. Kiwi Click, what's going on? Diligent Gentle. How many Indians can you find around you? We don't do that. Give me 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second. See, that's the shit I'm talking about right there. Somebody said in my chat room, how many Indians can I find around you? How many can we find around your fucking mother? Listen here. One thing I don't do in my chat room, and many people know this, I don't do that racist shit. I don't care if you're talking about somebody that's Lithuanian. I don't care if you're talking about somebody that's Egyptian. I don't care if you're talking about somebody that's black, Pakistani. I don't give a fuck what you talk. We don't do that racial talk in my shit. All right? All right. So I got him the fuck out of here, y'all. Don't worry about it. That's what's up. He said, I saw you in Harlem recently. That's what's up. Now, this is not an esoteric channel, so I don't do esoteric thoughts. So, nah, I'm sorry about that, man. He said, DMX, you still alive. That's what's up. Hey, what's going on, 88 Levita? This guy wrote, Trump is a failed businessman that was elected by a poorly educated mass. Okay, I'll counter that, right? I was up here in Trump Tower, election day. Not only with Trump this one, I was right across the street here from where I was at. I'm standing there right now. So I was right across the street when Trump got elected just recently, and then when Biden got elected, I was up here that day and I was fucking in gall. And so I was here for both elections, right? So when you say Trump is a failed businessman and elected by a poorly educated mass, I would say, well, that same poorly educated mass could be attributed to the fucking Biden election too, because Biden was literally a segregationist supporting motherfucker, and somehow or another black American women formed us in the vote for this cocksucker. You understand what I'm saying? What you saw what he brought apart. So if you say that everything that Biden did in his constituency was right, I would beg to differ. There's a quote from Joe Biden back in the 70s. He's been around the constituency of the White House for a very long time. At one time he was on Trade and Foreign Commissions, and then at one time he led, I forgot what the court was, but the trials, one of the trials he presided over at that time was, what is his name? Judge, he's an elected judge too, black gentleman. I'm trying to think of his name, but him and Anita Hill. Anita Hill was the name of the lady. Clarence Thomas, that's his name. And Joe Biden presided over that actual trial. So, you know, there's a lot of things about Joe Biden that was crooked as fuck outside the fact that this motherfucker was senile and a bitch. I ain't never seen a motherfucker, listen, I'm sorry for cursing, but I ain't never seen a motherfucker so many times in my life I'm 6'3", right? So when you're tall, sometimes you're kind of clumsy. You know what I'm saying? I've hit my head on things. I fell going up steps or whatever. But only with Joe motherfucking Biden had I seen in a 4-year span this motherfucking trip, fall, skate. I saw this motherfucker fall going up steps. How many people saw that on Air Force One? It was like, oh God, here go Joe again. Oh shit, Joe, come on and catch him. Joe done fell going up steps like 6, 7 times. I was like, this senile motherfucker. You ain't seen Trump fall one time. You ain't seen Trump fall one time. Backfresh said you said incorrect. Thank you, Jennifer. I appreciate it. What'd she say? He said, gee, I saw you. He said, gee, I saw you in Harlem recently. I'll be everywhere, baby. I wish I lived in Trump Towers. Oh, that's cute. That's cute. You must be either black American or white American. Usually they say shit like that. Well, let me put you on to something. I don't wish I lived anywhere because I actually lived up here before. Most of the people that know me know I lived on this block, and I'm pretty sure they'll come in the chat room sooner or later and tell you that. Number two, I live in Connecticut, which is very different from New York City. So if you knew the area I lived in, you probably feel kind of stupid saying that. So I'm gonna get you up out of here. That's what's up, though. I appreciate you. I don't pay attention to silly people like that. All right, guys, I'm gonna get up out of here. Shout out to Trump. Hopefully they'll listen. I'm gonna share this, cut it up a little bit. It'll be there for you guys to view or whatever. Also, guys, make sure you hit up the Cash App, $STRINGERBELLA80. Also, there's products for purchase down below. So make sure you guys go get your girlfriend something, go get yourself something perhaps or whatever. I'm going to give you guys some updates on what's going on with Harvey Weinstein. He's being retried here in New York City. So make sure you definitely support that Cash App or the PayPal so I could be able to be present. This for dinner, lunch, shit like that or whatever. I'm there the whole goddamn day. So, you know what I mean? It helps a lot to eat out here. It ain't like where I live at. Out where I live at, you can get something to eat for under $10. Here, you ain't getting nothing to eat under $18. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. Other than that, guys, thank y'all for tuning in. I will talk to y'all a little bit. Oh, yeah, Jaguar Wright. Listen, make sure you do right in the future. You know what I mean? She's a good gal. She's a good gal. All right.